Star, all the way through Halloween, The Thing, They Live, all the way up to The Ward, which is coming out in 1 month. Not only is he a great director, he's an amazing writer and a really unappreciated and unbelievable composer. Ladies and gentlemen, the great John Carpenter.
I'm going to do one thing right away before we get going. We have an actor here from the movie Big Trouble in Little China. We have one of the famous storms. Rain is here. Peter Kwan, stand up, Peter. Hasn't aged at all.
Now, when this came out, it didn't make the biggest splash, but this might go down as one of the most influential films, not just for Edgar Wright doing Scott Pilgrim films like that, but every video game ever made. Can we talk about just how this project began?
This was a movie, this was an assignment that I got, written by a friend of mine from film school named Rick Richter, W.D. Richter. Originally, it was a Western. A cowboy that rides into 18th and 17th San Francisco, and his horse gets stolen. So he has to go down into Chinatown and finds the ghosts and so forth. But Richter updated it, made it modern day. And I love the script. It was sensational. It was a chance to do... See, when I was in college in LA in the 70s, there was a film came out called Five Fingers of Death. I don't know if you remember it. It's a kung fu film. I had never seen one before. And it was absolutely captivating, not just because of the incredible fighting moves, but because there was a sweetness to it. There was a naivete that I really loved. And I kept track of kung fu movies, and I saw some flying kung fu films where they're up in the air fighting and sword fighting and doing all sorts of magic tricks, and I thought, well, this is the perfect movie for it. And what a better idea than to take the lead character, who's this blustery John Wayne piece of shit, and make him completely inept. And all the Asians who are supposedly sidekicks in these movies are the only ones who can kick ass. So we completely reversed it. Unfortunately, I didn't tell the studio this, and they were massively disappointed. They wanted Raiders of the Lost Ark. They wanted that kind of vibe, and instead they got what you saw. Now, you'll notice something. In the very opening of the movie, there's a prologue with this lawyer and Victor Wong, and that was added by the studio, because they wanted Victor Wong to say Jack Burton had tremendous courage or something like that. No, he didn't. It didn't help. It was a lie. So, anyway, the movie came out. I don't think people knew what they were going to get when they went to the theater. I don't know what they expected. That was the summer of Aliens, Jim Cameron's movie, which cleaned up. And Big Trouble... So, there you have it.
This film takes the piss out of every adventure film ever and made it look really a Temple of Doom and lots of things. Where did all of these hitting the red light at the end, or him talking about himself in third person and no one knowing who he's talking about, where did all those little peppered pieces come from?
That was all in the screenplay. Richter, the screenwriter, is really an idiosyncratic guy. And I think he was being really subversive in this film. I don't think anybody knew it. And he wrote all this these strange dialogue. I have to give credit to Kim Cattrall in this movie. I think she's fabulous. She's a great comedian. I love working with her.
And what was it like trying to convince Kurt Russell to get in this film, put on lipstick, all of that?
He was game. He was ready for it. He was all set to go. He had 1980s Hollywood hair. He was ready.
Now, was there any trouble casting or getting any of these actors that you wanted, or was was there any fight?
No. Got everybody we wanted.
And as always, you scored your film. Is there any thoughts of working doing the score for this film, or anything you were going for or trying to?
Chinese flavored synthesized score. Well, we got to do a Big Trouble in Little China main title theme, and we did a music video. Shown on MTV actually, and it's really embarrassing to see it today. Really embarrassing.
If we take a moment to talk about Victor Wong, who I think is amazing in this film. He's fantastic in Tremors. He's always fun to watch. Do you have any thoughts on Victor Wong?
Well, Victor was a good friend. The only problem with Victor, and we just went with it, was he was really hard to understand sometimes. He'd mangle his words up. But he was a brilliant actor. And he did the Eddie Murphy movie Golden Child at the same time. And they looped it. They looped his part because they couldn't understand what he was saying. So you either go all in with Victor or you don't. And we decided to go all in with him. I worked with him on 2 films. I really, really cared about him.
And Edlund's special effects are amazing. You're a great director at shooting special effects, whether from Thing or the Thing coming in, you give it enough sense of. You don't show too much, but you should get the adventure happening. Can you talk about shooting the special effects and working with Edlund in them?
Well, this wasn't that hard. We had a guy in a monster suit walking around. We did a whole lot of after effects. In other words, added things to the frame. It was really pretty simple to do. It wasn't as challenging as The Thing was. The Thing was a tough movie to make. But this was a lot of fun. Actually, we were having the kind of fun behind the scene, behind the camera that you see on the screen. We were having a blast making this film.
This is one of your brightest films. A lot like Escape from New York is super, very, very dark, and I think it'd be dark at time. Was there a thought to shoot a film with very bright, vibrant colors? And
it's bright.
Really? Well, comparative, I guess, to Escape.
Okay. No, not really. John Boyd was a great set production designer, and he created these great sets. We just shot them, and the great Dean Cundy lit it, and we had a great time.
Let's open up.
Anybody want to talk?
Right there.
Good evening, Mr. Carpenter. I want to congratulate you again on the 25th anniversary of this movie. And if next time you see Kurt Russell, I'd like you to congratulate him for me on Where Do I Read beating out some very formidable competition for the role of Jack Burton, namely Gary Busey and the late, great Christopher Penn. I read that they both tried out for the role. I don't know if that's true, but anyway.
That's absolutely untrue.
I also think you were robbed by not getting to do the remake of Scarface, since they touted you as the next Howard Hawks. It was the one with Al Pacino.
The one where he sounds like Ricky Ricardo? Yeah. Thank you. That's very nice.
Right over there.
I'm curious about the evolution of casting of Dennis Dunn. The last movie you did with him, Prince of Darkness, amazing movie. Such a different character. And just curious how you came about seeing him as this kick-ass martial arts guy from that character.
He's asking about Dennis Dunn and how he cast him.
Well, Dennis Dunn is an actor. He came from repertory theater in San Francisco. And I cast him in the film because he was just a terrific actor. He knew nothing about martial arts, okay? Nothing. He was carried along by all the stunt folks and the martial arts masters we had in the film. They taught him how to look good. Dennis he could barely open a bottle of water. But he's truly a gifted actor, and so I decided to cast him in the film I did after Big Trouble. I just liked him as an actor.
Right back.
Some of the deleted scenes on the DVD are just terrific and awesome, and I was wondering if you could talk about why you cut some of those, and is there ever a chance of seeing them restored in the film?
Which deleted scenes are you talking about?
Specifically when Jack sees the Lords of Death at the end and pushes the truck off the dock. Why was that cut? That was awesome.
Tempo and speed. We just wanted to make this thing go like a rocket, get it going. That was just a stall point. I'm sorry. What?
Ever a longer version, putting it back in maybe, just for us geeks?
That's a lot of work, dude.
Straight in the back. Bruce Lee's choreographer did this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know a bunch of guys who knew Bruce Lee and worked with him, but I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Right over there.
I'm just wondering where I mean, there's so many amazing martial artists in the film. Where did you find all of them? How was that involved in casting now, the fighters?
Well, we went to New York to cast there. We got Carter Wong was there, who was a star in Hong Kong martial arts film. We got a lot of the guys here. Some were actors, some were martial artists. Peter Kwan's a very, very fine actor. The guy who played Lightning was a male model in Hong Kong that happened to know a few moves. James Liu was a stunt coordinator. Jim Lau was a stunt coordinator. And the legendary Jack Imada was with me. And I cannot say enough about Jeff. He's one of our great, great stunt coordinators. They just came to find us because it was chock full of opportunity. So we had a lot of guys.
Right over there.
Is there any truth to the, I guess it's a rumor that the Baku Banzai sequel script somehow melded into this script? Is that true?
I don't think so. I didn't know about it if it was.
Straight in the middle.
How much of the Qingdai mythology, the Chinese mythology, and the background of Lo Pan is based in Chinese history, or was it made up for the movie?
He's wondering if the mythology was based in Chinese history or made up.
Well, it's kind of made up, you know. Lo Pan means boss. So he's just boss. He's a Dracula character. He's an old ghost. He's blood of this green-eyed girl. You know. No.
Right there again.
Did you ever consider, back in the 80s or 90s, consider doing a sequel to this? I mean, I know sequels are the rage now, but back then, the way the movie ended, it seems like there was opening for something, or just taking Jack Bird to another setting for something?
Dude, this thing tanked. Nobody wants to do a sequel to this.
We all do!
I have one other question. Is anybody by the name of Michael Kuros here? If you are, stand up, please. Yes. Thank you very much.
Play Heavy Rain.
Forget it. Never mind. I won't explain.